vaccine is very, very safe. And so we have every expectation that this one will be comparably safe.
Believe the negative hype on these vaccines. The vaccine conspiracy theories about killed Great Britain at one point.
It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in. It kind of catapults the propaganda. It kind of catapults the propaganda.
Get your damn vaccine.
Have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Is this some sort of new world order? One of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance and global agreements.
The phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order. We need a new way of thinking, a government that thinks big, that has a global perspective.
Build the world order of the 21st century.
Will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity.
People who have been yelling, oh, the UN's going to take over global
Conspiracy theories.
They've been crazy, but now they're right.
Yeah.
A new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges for the future.
It's about the future of the whole region. It's about the future of Europe and a new world order.
They give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would.
It is going to have to be some semblance of global governance on these questions.
The question is, are you excited that a new world order is emerging, or are you concerned about America's sovereignty?
World order was in tune, and that's what they were working for. The UN is part of that government. They're working right now very significantly for a North American Union.
Blue pill works better than the red pill, and it turns out the blue pill's half as expensive as the red pill.
The Kissinger-authored U.S. plan targeted 13 key countries where massive population reduction was called for. Kissinger recommended that IMF and World Bank loans be given on condition that nations initiate aggressive population control programs, such as sterilization. Kissinger also recommended that food be used as a weapon, and that instigating wars was also a helpful tool in reducing population.
A group of unelected liberals with more money than many governments have just decided how many people will be permitted to live. This group of self-appointed governors will now have to draw up criteria to be used to decide who will not be permitted to live.
That much money, that much power around one table. It begs the question, what were they doing? What were they scheming? Total world domination?
The Texas Academy of Science recently gave its top honor to a University of Texas biologist who says the Earth would be better off if 90% of the human population was wiped out. Professor Eric Bianca says people have grown fat, apathetic, and miserable. He predicts a disease like the Ebola virus will give the human population a much-needed correction.
Fraught with very little disapproval about using forced sterilization for population control.
In the event that I am reincarnated, I would like to return as a deadly virus in order to contribute something to solve overpopulation. Prince Philip.
Australia, remember it's all about sustainability, says slashing the world's population is the only way to avoid environmental suicide. See, some of you are going to have to die, or we're all going to die.
Top eugenicists were bold enough to admit their real goal was not improving the heredity of the commoner, but to further dumb them down so that they could be more manageable. Nobel Prize winner Russell wrote at length about how vaccinations filled with mercury and other brain-damaging compounds would induce partial chemical lobotomies and develop servile zombie population.
Diet, injections, and injunctions will combine from a very early age to produce the sort of character and the sort of beliefs that the authorities consider desirable. And any serious criticism of the powers that be will become psychologically impossible. Bertrand Russell.
You know, this apathy's got to end. Otherwise, the way we live is going to end. And the fact that, when people give lectures and try to tell us, people want to stand up and fight with them. Look at what's happening around us. The indications are everywhere, everywhere. The truth is now an obscure thing. You know, the lie is the norm. There's something wrong here. What's wrong with this picture?
State of New Jersey now mandating every child who attends daycare or preschool to get the flu shot, or they'll be kicked out of class.
Because some Canadian research shows the seasonal flu vaccine actually raises your risk of catching the swine flu.
Mercury is absolutely a concern. It is the second most potent neurotoxin known to man, but this issue goes much broader than mercury. There are a number of ingredients in vaccines that are severely toxic and have not been safety tested adequately.
I have more concern about the vaccine than I do about the swine flu. It's been rushed to market. There are high levels of adjuncts which basically make it more potent.
Give it to your kids.
I definitely would not.
You would not, or
Oh, but I'll tell you, my wife is not getting near her kids. Because I've got 4 of them, and when I go home, I'm not Dr. Oz, I'm Mr. Oz.
I've also heard it called the hybrid virus. It contains 2 forms of swine flu, 2 forms of human flu, and 1 form of the very deadly avian flu. And many people in the research community feel that this could have only been developed by gene splicing, by recombination of DNA.
1 in 5,000 children had the developmental disorder in the late 1980s. Now 1 in 166 kids lives with autism.
An increase in the amount of thimerosal injected into their bodies. Dr. Boyd Haley is a mercury poisoning expert at the University of Kentucky. He believes it is possible thimerosal could be responsible for neurological brain damage, especially for children who don't naturally get mercury out of their system.
It's one of the most toxic compounds I know of. I mean, I can't think of anything that's absolutely more lethal.
You can see that in this University of Calgary experiment. Mercury quickly destroys this neuron.
It is the place where Baxter contaminated 72 kilos of vaccine material with the live bird flu, and so nearly triggered a global pandemic just a few months ago in February. This attempt to trigger a pandemic failed because of the alertness of people in the Czech Republic who detected it in a laboratory biotest. However, it has now turned out that Baxter still has at least a large amount of that 72 kilos of bird flu.
A new survey shows that 1/3 of British nurses have said that they will not take the swine flu vaccine because they're worried about the possible side effects.
But when I was pregnant, standing in line, going to get a flu shot, and the nurse tried to talk me out of it. She said, "You're pregnant, you shouldn't get a flu shot." And I said, "Well, no, actually, I should get a flu shot." I had to talk her into it.
Some New York hospital workers are fighting back,
Very disconcerting to me.
refusing to take the seasonal flu or the H1N1 vaccine mandated by the New York State Health Department for healthcare workers statewide.
It reminds me of the 1976 swine flu pandemic that was out. They did that. They created such a panic that people rushed to get these vaccines, and over 4,000 people became disabled in one way or another from those vaccines.
She was just given Tamiflu. She had asthma. She was showing flu-like symptoms. She took Tamiflu and almost died.
An urgent investigation has been launched after a 14-year-old girl died shortly after being given a cervical cancer vaccine at her school in Coventry. Natalie Morton died in hospital after getting the HPV-1 Cervarix jab at the Blue Coat Church of England school.